What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, taking a look at the Grim Workshop subscription for August 2024. This subscription costs $20 a month. For that, they send you USA-made bushcraft survival EDC type gear in the form factor of a credit card, dog tag, or really any other small flat metal object. So let's dive in, see what they sent over for August, and we'll start with the tips as usual. Just like last month, we got tip guides instead of the typical tip cards. Now, these are 8 panels. One of them acts as a business card, so 7 panels of information, which is one of the big values versus the cards, which are just front and back. So you're getting about 3.5 times the information with information on those 7 panels. They also value these a little bit higher. Grim Workshop sells these ones for $4.95 versus $1.85 for the typical tip card. Big trade-off here though is the durability. The tip cards are really well laminated, so they're going to be weather resistant, extremely tear resistant. I think I'd have a hard time tearing one if I tried without just cutting it outright with some scissors. So you're losing a little bit of durability in exchange for more information. So first one we got this month is Escape and Evasion. I believe this is guide 3 on escape and evasion skills. So this is a really fun one to me. I mean, the lifestyle that I live, it's very unlikely that I'm ever need to know how to escape zip ties or get out of a car trunk or anything like that, knock on wood. But I still find these pretty enjoyable. I like reading through them, even if they're a little bit less practical. How to block a door with a fork, how to pick handcuffs with a bobby pin. So a lot of really fun information in this one. And again, these are valued at $4.95. Now, even though they value them a little bit higher than our typical tip cards, they still do send 2 just like you'd get with the tip cards. So you're not really losing out on anything, just getting a little extra value. So guide number 2, alternative fire methods number 7. And this is a really fun one too, because this isn't your traditional fire starting methods. These are a little bit less conventional ways to start a fire. So even looking at page 1 here, you can see some of that information on what you'll need to start these fires. A chewing gum wrapper, fire with batteries, a wire fire. And so a lot less conventional ways, and maybe ways that people who are very versed in starting a fire probably don't practice these type of methods. And so it's just a fun one to have in your knowledge bank, even if you never use them. I also think these are just kind of fun projects to do. So I may take these on and do them as different shorts, but you can see we have 7 panels of information on less conventional ways to start a fire. This USB cable one's an interesting one that I haven't seen before, but I'm familiar with some of these, but it's still really cool to just get these less conventional ways to start a fire, especially if maybe you're not starting a fire out in the wild and you want to try and start one just kind of in the comfort of your home or somewhere that you have all of these things on hand already. So with that being said, let's get into the tools. This month we got some micro tools, which usually means we get multiple, and that's the case this month as well. So up first, the saw micro tool. Now you can see this has a saw on either side with different size and shaped teeth. These always do come with this little key ring here, so you can attach it to your key ring or a ball chain necklace or anything like that. And this one, you have holes on either side, which is a little bit different than a lot of these. The reason for that is it allows you to tie off a handle. If you have some paracord or small cordage, you can tie off a handle so you can pull it back and forth with that. You can also probably use those to make a makeshift handle out of wood. If you just cut a notch with one of those saws into a small branch, you may be able to tie that off so you have a little bit of a handle on wood as well. And so this one's valued at $5.99. It looks like it's the first edition of this one, so maybe some other versions of it as well. You can pause and read there if you'd like, but we'll go ahead and move on to the next micro tool, because as I said, we usually get multiple when we get the micro tools, and that's the case here as well. So we get the arrow micro tool, and so this one is a single arrow. It looks like once you break it off, it's done, so it's going to be kind of your single use. I guess you still could technically attach this to your keychain after you break that off, but then it's going to be a little bit sharp for you. Now for me, on these micro arrows and things like that, I don't find them as useful, just because you also need to know how to make a makeshift bow, and although I may be able to get the general shape down, I don't know that it would be able to shoot accurately or with the type of power needed to propel an arrow. I'm not versed on making bows out in the bush, and so not sure how useful this one would be to me. But you could also use it to make a small spear, a little bit smaller than some of their broadhead arrows that they get, and so would make a nice small spear if you'd like to do that. Again, valued at $5.99, and again, you can pause here and read through the information on that Arrowhead micro tool if you'd like to, but we'll go ahead and set that one down and get into our main tool this month. So we got another signature card. These are their highest value cards typically. I think there's a few exceptions like their slingshot and stuff like that, but their signature cards have a lot of versatility. A lot of the times you're going to get similar tool sets on the different signature cards. So this one's a Wayne Russell signature card valued at $21.95. And so you may get similar tools, but that's because a lot of these survival experts have a similar idea of what would be useful in a survival scenario. So we get a small blade that can act as a spear tip as well. You can see there's 4 lashing points on there, spear point stout blade. Now these are only sharpened on one side and they're not ultra sharp. So if you end up needing that, you're going to end up having to sharpen it on a rock or something. It does have that retention backing. So if you are going to be carrying this, it may be worthwhile to take that off, sharpen it on an actual sharpener, and then put it back onto that retention backing so it's a little bit sharper. You also have this gig over here for a spear, some sewing needles and hooks, and some trap triggers. And so really nice kind of versatility with this card. Again, I'll show that information card if you want to pause and read on that, but a value of about $22 there. You also get a coupon code, which is members only, so there's no point in listing it because you do have to be subscribed in order to use that coupon code. But pretty cool overall items this month. I think I actually like the guides this month more than the items. I'm really excited about the 2 guides they included. They're just a little bit less conventional, and that's definitely my sort of thing that I enjoy most with these. So really enjoy both of the guides this month, but would love to hear your favorites down in the comments below. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, joining the channel as a member. All help the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.